crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be. This notion of cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that. They've got to mature.
Garen, those aren't the only times that we found that he used it. He also used it a lot on social media. Look at a few of these right here. You see there, that is a lot of use of Latinx by him for somebody who said that nobody in his office has ever used that.
I never imagined seeing Gavin Newsom accidentally speak the truth. The man has built his reputation on denial, polished excuses, and carefully crafted stories, especially when it comes to California's wildfire crises. But out of nowhere, he throws a curveball no one saw coming. A viral clip shows him saying what he's avoided his whole career: honesty. Yes, you read that right. Even Bill Maher looked like he'd just seen a UFO roll onto the stage.
Letterman was in the news today. He said, we're talking about the Democratic Party, he said, if we don't get our together, we're going to be a permanent minority.
I agree.
And I see you're doing something about it. I applaud it. I think it's great. You've got this podcast. You're talking to people. You know, it's amazing to me that even that is controversial to some people. They call it platforming. If you talk to someone you don't agree with.
Yeah.
I feel like this country is divided into owners and healers. People who can own the other.
When Newsom quietly said those shocking two words, I agree, you could almost hear Maher's jaw drop. Nobody expected Slick Gavin to hand over honesty on a silver platter. We were braced for the usual routine: blame games, finger pointing, and spin polished to perfection. But when Maher bluntly declared the Democratic Party is circling the drain, Newsom didn't deflect. He simply nodded. That wasn't a talking point, it was a confession. And it wasn't a one-off. Instead of the usual lecturing, he stayed quiet and admitted it, exposing the cracks in his brand that are bigger than anyone thought.
But Newsom owned DeSantis.
Yeah.
DeSantis destroyed Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Or people who want to talk and heal. And I feel like the next president is going to be, at least if it comes from this party, the Democratic Party, someone who wants to talk and heal. And I feel like you're doing that.
Then there's his podcast. Don't be fooled by the dialogue and unity packaging. It's really a soft launch for his 2028 ambitions. Newsom knows California's image is tarnished. Growing tent cities, businesses leaving, wildfires raging, and blackouts hitting major cities. He's directly tied to all of it. So what's his plan? Reinvention. Out goes Governor Hair Gel 1.0. In comes Dr. Gavin 2.0, the Democratic healer. It's fake, rehearsed, and dripping with desperation. He's not uniting the country. He's building a resume. Who's actually buying Gavin as the nation shrink?
Really been interesting, the reaction to the podcast. I mean, we had some controversial figures on, I'll acknowledge that, and Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and some others. But you're right. I mean, this idea that we can't even have a conversation with the other side.
You have to. They won.
Thank you. That's it, bottom line. And by the way, or the notion we just have to continue to talk to ourselves, or we're in the same damn echo chamber. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic, right?
And then came the bombshell. Newsom admitted something no Democrat wants to hear. The party's reputation is toxic. Poison. From the very guy who helped make it that way. Democrats didn't stumble into this mess. They were dragged there by career politicians like him, obsessed with optics over results. California is the living proof. And now he points at the chaos and says, something broke. That's not leadership. It's an arsonist admiring the fire. If he wants to lecture on rot, he should start with his own reflection.
A high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not take cheap shots. I'm not looking to put a spoke in the wheel of their, or at least a crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should.
Notice how he slips the podcast into every discussion, pretending it's casual. That's classic Gavin. Always selling, always pitching. His entire career is about smooth talk, zero delivery. And did you catch the subtle jab at Kamala Harris? Whether intentional or a slip, it cracked the facade. The supposed golden kids of the party aren't glowing anymore. They're throwing shade at each other. The mask is breaking.
cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that. They've got to mature.
If Gavin suddenly cares about accountability, he should start with California's record. Homelessness skyrocketing, businesses fleeing, crushing taxes, rising crime, and families leaving en masse. Yet he lectures Democrats on responsibility, as if his record isn't radioactive. California isn't a model. It's a cautionary tale. Newsom didn't inherit this mess. He helped cultivate it, until he admits that his so-called truth bombs are nothing more than theater under brighter lights. And let's not forget, this is the same guy who swore he never said latings. Spoiler, he did.
Word Latinx. Just 2 weeks ago, here's what he said about it.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
Yeah,
we agree?
but where did that even
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about?
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even.
That's why seeing him stumble into honesty was so bizarre. This man breathes spin. Californians have lived through tent cities, shuttered shops, crime spikes, and exodus after exodus, all while he smiled for the cameras like it's a theme park parade. For him to cough up a fragment of truth is like spotting Bigfoot roller skating down Market Street. Rare, surreal, and almost unbelievable. Newsom isn't a leader. He's a salesman in a designer suit, peddling illusions while the state collapses.
The only times that we found that he used it, he also used it a lot on social media. Look at a few of these right here. You see there, that is a lot of use of Latinx by him for somebody who said that nobody in his office has ever used that phrase.
Credit where it's due. Maher earned the applause. He forced Newsom off the script and into honesty, something most of us thought impossible. Newsom usually operates like a teleprompter. Maher boxed him in until the mask cracked. That's why so many top Democrats avoid Maher. They can't survive the pressure. If he rattled Slick Gavin, imagine the meltdown if the entire Democratic elite had to sit under those lights.
I was on KBLA yesterday, with my friend Tavis Smiley. I'm an investor and a supporter of that station. And he said, who do you want to run for president? I mentioned, I think you'd be good at the job. Not this year, we know. No, I know. But he said, I don't think he could win. I don't think he could win. He's too progressive coming from this state and what he's done in this state to win in any southern state anywhere.
But let's be clear, one slip doesn't make Gavin presidential material. California's record under him is still a disaster in designer packaging. Homelessness, crime, soaring taxes, and a fleeing population. His Hollywood-ready theatrics may impress the elite, but everyday Americans see failure. Voters want results, not rehearsed performances. One honest moment doesn't erase years of chaos. Newsom isn't the cure. He's part of the problem. That's The Breakdown. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more no-nonsense takes.